Okay, we have some participants here. Can you introduce yourself? Mr. Marcelo?
Thank you, Mr. Ryu. My name is Marcelo Estrel. Yes, I am a chief expert from web technology skills in World Skills International. I am acting in this Skills Science 2007, and we will start in Japan. Now is a long time, yeah, in the past. There's a lot of experiences and partnerships. And for me, it's an amazing opportunity again. And thank you so much for the invitation to participate in this special event, Ryu. And the guys from Korea, thank you so much.
Thank you. You are the dinosaur in web technologies. Okay, next. Yeah, I can see Mr. Cisco Kung Lao. Can you introduce yourself? Your sound muted.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. In Taiwan time now is 8 o'clock, 8:30 o'clock. So I say good morning. And now in Taiwan, we will take place a national skill competition at October. October, yeah.
Okay.
But I cannot invite our good friend, another expert, go to Taiwan.
No problem. Thank you.
Maybe next time, next year, I welcome all experts attend to Taiwan.
Yeah, I hope. Thank you. And we have Mr. Thomas from Macau, our SCM. Do you hear me, Thomas?
Hi, Will. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marcelo, and good morning, Mr. Kong. I'm now driving to office, so I may be distracted on the road. So I'll have a more detailed sharing later with 4 tips. But now I'll pass it back to Will. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. What happened on your hair? some change. Thank you. And I think we have Mr. Abraham from Costa Rica.
Hello, Mr. Rio.
Yeah, hello,
everybody. I'm Abraham from Skills Costa Rica. Nice to see you all from Web Technologies, and thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for. Okay, next we have a former competitor, Mr. David here.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, you all. I'm very glad to be here.
Okay. That's all?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. This our Zoom meeting will be streamed on YouTube channel, so you can find it next. So, and I think we have the Korean competitor. He's going to participate in the Shanghai. Okay, if you want to say hello, you can say, Mr. Shihan Go. No. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Just hello.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah. So some countries is in the midnight, so they cannot attend this Zoom meeting, but they can check it out next after this meeting with YouTube channel. Okay, so today I will start with my introduction of videos we have made. So let me start first. Yeah. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna speak with Korean. So we have interpreter, Mr. Kim An Kwon. You may saw him in WorldSkills Kazan. Okay. This is the same. You can check this screen. Yeah, today 오늘은 PHP, 자바스크립트 파트 1, 2에 대해서 설명을 드릴게요. 각각의 화면은 프레임워크와 로그인 페이지 이벤트에 대한 관리자 설정, 그리고 어드민 페이지에 대한 설정입니다.
Hello, it's nice to meet you again. This is the Korean interpreter for Kazan. Hello, I see a lot of familiar faces. So today we will cover PHP JavaScript part 1 and 2. And in the video we covered how to construct PHP framework, login and event, and eventually how to set up the admin page.
소리 나가고 있어요? 예, 그리고 PHP 자바스크립트는 5개의 그 비디오로 구성되어 있습니다.
And PHP JavaScript includes 5 parts of videos.
처음에 그 서버 사이드 렌더링하고 제이슨 기반의 API를 개발하는 과제입니다.
So the first project is about how to construct server-side rendering plus JSON-based API development.
그리고 카잔에서는 이제 오후에는 오전에 만든 API를 기반으로 해서 이제 그 프론트엔드 페이지를 제작하는 과제였습니다.
In Kazan, there was a task to be done in the day, which is based on the API that you worked on in the morning.
그 PHP 프레임워크는 라라벨, 또 코드 이그나이터 등이 사용되었습니다.
As you can see on the screen, Laravel was also included, and
라라벨, 코드 이그나이터.
Laravel E and CodeIgniter was adopted in game.
그리고 첫 번째 비디오에서는 프레임워크를 설치하고 로그인 페이지를 구성하고 또 이벤트 미스타이핑이 있는데 이벤트에 대한 설정을 하는 그 내용을 담고 있습니다.
So the first part covers how to configure the event, including installing the framework.
두 번째 비디오는 어드민 페이지를 구성하는 내용을 담고 있습니다.
And the second video covers on how to configure the admin page.
그리고 잠깐만요. 이게 김한 씨 내용이 이쪽 마이크로 가는 것 같아요. 그 사운드 꺼져 있는 것 같아요. 그리고 세 번째 비디오는 그 REST API를 개발하는 내용을 담고 있습니다.
And the third video covers REST API.
그리고 오후에는 프론트엔드 페이지를 이제 개발하게 되는데 이때는 자바스크립트 프레임워크를 사용합니다. 앵귤러, 리액트, Vue.js가 사용됩니다.
In the afternoon, you were expected to work on front-end development using JavaScript frameworks such as Angular, React, and Vue.js.
그래서 PHP 이 비디오에서 네 번째 비디오에서는 이 비디오에서는 뷰를 사용했지만 개별적으로는 앵귤러나 리액트를 사용할 수도 있고 여기서는 이 예제에서는 뷰를 사용했을 뿐인데 참고하시기 바랍니다.
Keep in mind that in the fourth part of the video, we adopted Vue client, but you are also able to work on Angular, React as well.
예, 그리고 다섯 번째 비디오에서는 자바스크립트로 이제 코딩을 이제 마무리하는 과정을 담고 있습니다.
And the fifth part of the video covers how to JS code.
다음번에는 이제 이런 이런 내용에 더해서 비디오에는 없지만 서버를 사용하는 내용에 대해서 다음번 줌 라이브에서는 더 상세하게 화면을 이제 보여주면서 설명을 할 예정입니다.
In the next Zoom meeting session, I will show you how to work on the server, and I will give a thorough explanation.
마이크 꺼져 있어요.
말할 때마다.
안 들려. 오케이. 그리고 서버 사이드 MVC 프레임워크를 어떻게 설치하는 데 대해서 질문들이 많이 있었습니다.
And there were a lot of questions on how to work on server-side framework.
실제 경기에서는 서버에 인터넷이 제공되지 않기 때문에 컴포저라는 소프트웨어를 사용해서 설치는 할 수 없습니다.
Because in the actual game, there is no internet access on the server, so you are also unable to use the composer.
프레임워크들은 압축된 파일 형태로 선수들에게 제공되고 선수들은 서버에 업로드해서 또 풀고 사용할 수 있습니다.
So the framework will be distributed as a zip file so that competitor can upload and unzip to the server.
그러니까 중요한 것은 월드스킬에서는 여러분들이 개인적으로 훈련할 때는 모르지만 월드스킬에서는 서버 자체도 또 여러분 컴퓨터 워크스테이션도 인터넷을 제공하지 않는다는 점을 충분히 염두에 두셔야 되고 이 부분이 이따가 이제 마르셀로가 보충으로 설명을 해줄 겁니다.
I cannot stress enough that it is important to work on the server. Either your server and computer workstation in the game does not have internet access. About this, Mr. Marcelo will talk about it later.
네, 그리고 프레임워크는 어떻게 테스트를 하느냐. 그래서 일단은 여러분들은 C-2에 이제 경기장에 오셔가지고 여러분들의 워크스테이션 그리고 서버와의 접속 이런 내용들을 다 테스트하고 프레임워크도 설치해서 잘 작동하는지 다 테스트할 거고 그에 관련된 접속 정보는 여러분들한테 개별적으로 다 제공될 겁니다.
So to test framework on the familiarization day on C-2 in the actual game venue, you will be taught how to install and test MVC framework, and you will be given individually. You will be given with personal settings.
그리고 평가는 어떻게 할 거냐. 특히 서버 사이드에서는 지난 카잔에서도 이미 유닛 테스트를 사용을 해서 자동화 채점 방법을 사용을 했습니다.
In Kazan, we already adopted the unit test for the automatic marking. In the last Kazan game, you already used it.
이 부분에서 여러분들이 중요하게 생각해야 될 거는 반드시 테스트 프로젝트에서 제공하는 인스트럭션을 따라야 되고 그걸 따르지 않으면 채점을 제대로 할 수 없다는 의미가 됩니다.
It is very important that you follow the instruction in the test project. Otherwise, your marks will go down.
이와 관련된 사항은 서버뿐만 아니라 클라이언트 사이드에서도 같이 적용됩니다.
It also works the same on the server and on the client side.
네, 그래서 이 비디오들은 두 개의 이제 오전 3시간, 오후 3시간 화면에 보이는 것 같은 구성에 대해서 비디오로 다 이제 설명을 드리고 있습니다.
So this video has two steps, as you can see on the screen. Step 1 will be done in the morning, and step 2 will be done in the afternoon.
내용은 앞에 설명드린 거와 같습니다.
The contents are the same as I explained.
그리고 첫 번째 비디오에서는 이제 이 모듈의 이제 과제에 대해 테스트 프로젝트에서 설명을 하고 그다음에 이제 이 과제에 대한 내용을 이제 기반으로 해서 어떻게 설치하고 설정하고 데이터베이스를 또 사용하고 그런 또 어드민 페이지라든지 로그인 페이지를 만드는 거에 대해서 이 8개 파트로 나눠서 첫 번째 그 비디오는 설명을 하고 있습니다.
So the first video has about 8 steps and 8 tips on how to configure the install and how to work on database and how to do the admin configuration. The contents you see on the screen basically is what the content is of the video.
그래서 이제 이런 화면에 보이는 결과물을 만들어낸 과정을 비디오에서는 보여주고 있습니다.
So the results should be like this on the screen.
네, 그리고 두 번째 비디오는 이제 그 프레임워크를 어떻게 설정하는지에 대한 설명, 그리고 그것을 통해서 이제 어떤 그 모습으로 보여주는지, 그리고 어드민 페이지의 내용들이 이제 어떻게 구성되는지에 대해서 보여주고 있습니다.
And this part covers how to configure framework so that it should look like something and how to do the admin setup.
네, 이런 이제 결과를 어떻게 만들어내는지 보여주는 화면입니다.
This is the screen about the results showing.
네, 제가 발표는 이제 이거로 마치고 다음 이제 발표는 우리 2007년부터 그 월드스킬에 참여해온 그 심사장 마르셀로로부터 몇 가지 얘기를 좀 들어볼 텐데요. 그 전에 혹시 질문 있으시면 해주시고 화면 공유를 일단 잠시 중단하겠습니다.
So that was the end of my presentation. And from now on, Mr. Marcelo Strel from 2007 WorkSkills, he's now the chief expert of web design. He will continue the presentation. And before we're doing that, do you have any questions?
Okay, then we can start with Marcelo's. You want to share your screen yourself by yourself? Okay.
Yes, okay, Mr. Rio, thank you so much. Let me start sharing my screen here. Share. And I will start my presentation. Please let me say if you are receiving. Yes?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Then my presentation is, I will try to speak a little bit slowly for everybody can understand, because again, normally I speak in Portuguese, yeah, and now I need to switch my mind again to speak in English. It's a little bit hard to do this again so faster. Then I will try to speak slowly, but I will try to give some advices for the champions, for the competitors, about the importance of this part of our skills that is related with PHP development and JavaScript development, why you need to pay some attention, a special attention in this kind of acknowledgement for the competition, okay? The first question is, do you know the difference between the scores between the medalists, okay? I know that many people is coming now, is our youngest guys, but I will show to you some results. And this is the results that we had in Kazan 2019, okay? And you can see the differences of the marks for the medalists. And you can see that the difference is so small, yeah? Like you can see, like it's 3.4 points. For the silver is 0.05, okay? This represents, of course, if you have one aspect of evaluation of assessment in the test project between 0.25 and 2 points, this can be that just one aspect can be the difference between receive a gold medal or receive a silver medal or maybe lose one medal, okay? Then the difference between the guys is in the top is really small. And you can say, ask to me, oh, Mr. Marcelo, but this can be just for Kazan. Then I will present to you the results for Abu Dhabi in 2017. And again, we can see that the results and the difference between the top guys is again so small. Okay, then again, you can have the difference here for 1 to 5 aspects in the maximum to read these results. And again, come back 1 year, 2 years ago in the competition in São Paulo, then you have a little bit more, a biggest difference, but the biggest difference is 2 points, 2.3, okay, between the guys. Then is one thing that you need to pay attention. In the highest positions, some special things or the attention of special things can be the difference to win or to lose your medal, to arrive in the first or in the second place, okay? And again, you will ask me, for example, where is the difference in the marks and what is the key that we need to think to win? How is the secret of our skill? And I will teach and I will explain to you, okay? Again, now showing to you the difference of the standard variation of the results for each model that we use. And each model have some special topics. For example, one model is about CMS, another model is about PHP programming, another model is about front-end programming, okay? And the standard derivation is related with the results, how the results of the marks is spread between the competitors. Then, if you have the small standard derivation, all the results is almost in the same place, you know? One guy and another guy, there is not so big difference. And when you see, for example, the standard derivation big, like in a red, wrote in red in this table, we will see that the difference between the marks is bigger, okay? Then it's much more important for the competitors achieve good marks in these models, because these models make a good difference in the final of the result. Okay, and if you see the results, the standard derivation of the models that is right here in the red, all the models is related with programming, is related especially with PHP programming and with front-end programming using JavaScript. And this is the key to make the difference in a web technology skills. Okay, then if you ask to me what I need to do to win, I will say, please study programming, because this is the big difference. And for this one, this presentation in this training for this week is so important, because you are keeping focus in for me, the most important topic in our skill, programming and the PHP programming. Because when you arrive in the competitions, okay, when you see the results, some guys that have managed very well with programming, they can do like 100 marks of the programming models. And again, some guys that don't manage very well lose the most part of the marks in programming. And this is the difference is too big. And again, when I show to you the results and you see the difference between the first and the second is maybe less than 1 point, then here is the difference, is in the programming models that you can see, and then you can receive more important things and more marks. That can be the difference. Then this is the facts, okay? The World Skills Competition is a competition first. It's hard because everybody have a excellent acknowledgement. Some special details can be the difference, like in a high performance sports, okay? Then a small details can be the difference. And again, programming makes a big difference in the results presented by competitors, okay? And again, if you ask me to give some advices for you, okay? And in preparation for competition, I will say to you, be a good PHP programmer. This is important, okay, to guarantee that you have good results. Of course, be a good JavaScript programmer, because again, you have programming for front end, then you need to manage very well with JavaScript too, okay? Develop very well using frameworks, okay? Why I need to use frameworks? It's mandatory. No, you can do everything without frameworks. But if you're using frameworks, it's guaranteed that you do more and more faster. And this can be the difference in the final, because you deliver much more requirements of the test project. Then it's important that you develop very well with frameworks, again, and be a good DevOps. Okay, DevOps is related with the configuration and the installation of your work on the server. Of course, we can see many times that the competitor says, oh, it's working on my machine. Yeah, but again, when you put on the server, there is some configuration is a little bit different, or something different of your machine, and nothing work on the server. And when you do the assessment, a lot of zero, you lose a lot of marks again. Then you need to have know how to manage very well in using DevOps, how I can configure the server, how can I deploy my application on the server. Again, many guys say to me, oh, it's working in my computer again, but will deliver your computer for the customers, okay? Again, for the real world, you deploy your application on the server, and everybody will use the server to consume your application. Then you need to know how to organize very well your application in the server. And again, the most important that we talk all the times, please save and test your work on the server, okay, to guarantee that everything is working very well. And again, and then you can assess your work and do the evaluation the best you can, and you receive the marks. Okay, this is small advices for you, and this is why it's so important for you training and study about programming, about PHP models, about framework models, because these do the difference in the final of the competition. Okay, this is my presentation for tonight. Someone has a question or something?
Thank you for your remarkable presentation. Yeah, everybody can learn from your presentation. I'll share your video on the forum and in many communications. Okay, have any questions? No? You're okay.
Yes,
David.
very good.
Yeah, that's another question. Very good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe Mr. David, Mr. Marcelo's presentation reminds us Kazan.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
everybody missed the voice of Marcelo. Okay, if you have any question, you can leave the question on the chatting or send me, text me. Or okay, next you have Thomas. He already sent me our presentation. He has some tips for competitor or experts.
Yes, sure.
Can you start?
So I'll share my screen.
Yes, thank you.
Aurel, do you have my PDF?
Not yet. Try again. Okay, yeah. I see your screen. So, okay.
First of all, let me introduce myself again. I'm Thomas Mack from Macau. I was I competitor in web design skill back in 2003 in St. Gallen, Switzerland, and then I joined the web technology family again in 2009 as an expert, and then the deputy chief expert, and then the skill competition manager since 2019. So I feel the stress when the competitors are in the competition with only 3.5 days, with so many tasks to do, and yet, as Marcelo mentioned, we have to be good at everything, including not required, but including the DevOps to know the server configurations. Of lot, it is not about we need to configure ourselves, but at least we need to know the tools ourselves so that we can use the tool. So here are my 4 tips on doing well in the PHP test projects. First is the API. From time to time, the test projects may request different functionalities, but the foundations are all the same. We have to set up the route, the URL route, and set up the response for success and unsuccess and unauthorized. And we have to know the response type format, for example, the JSON and XML. So these are the foundations, they are the same. And make sure we have to get this correctly. Otherwise, if the foundations of the API part are failed or have any misconfiguration on the URL routing, then everything you do will not be assessed by the either PHP unit or the expert. So we may face the situation that you do everything, but one mistake can give you 0 points. That's why we have to learn to make sure the foundation part, like the API setup and configuration, is absolutely correct. Then for some functionalities that required by the API, few competitors may do very well and perfectly, few may do great, few may do normally, but these marks difference are reflecting what they are doing. But if you fail the foundation, you miss every point. Next, also part of the API is to know the framework inside out. As Marcelo has suggested, to write better and write faster by using frameworks. I've seen in the previous competitions that they do the project almost perfect in their own machine, in the development mode, but not in the production mode. So you have to, the competitor have to learn the framework inside out instead of relying only on the development, instead of relying only on the default scaffolding. For example, some framework may generate a model, view, controllers, and the URL handling for a table in the database, but they have to learn how to modify it to fit the test project. Especially some frameworks will provide the default built-in authentication, or if not built-in, they almost have a default plugin for this authentication. And make sure to learn the alternative ways. For example, if we are not requiring the username and password, if we are requiring something else like a token, or imagine that the test project is testing a offline and online integration, so the customer may acquire a token in the offline scenarios, and then we log in again in an online one. Or imagine that it is a government service that the government generate everything for you, and then as a citizen you log in with without the requirement to sign up, but you have to log in with a pre-recorded authorization method. Anything of this is different from the built-in authentication. So make sure to learn not only the built-in and not only the default configuration of a framework. This is very useful if you face a slightly different requirement that the framework usually do in the competition environment. So again, authentication. Even if you implement the authentication method correctly, make sure to check, double check, triple check your documents to see if your login in a database table or in your code is exactly the same as what the test project suggests. We've faced so many times that we cannot log in to the competitor's work, so we cannot access everything in the admin area. And then we had huge debate on how we assess the mark. But if you want to make sure what your efforts done will get correctly assessed, make sure to have the authentication work as the test project suggests. So unless the test project written forbidden the related digit, please consider create a bypass for the login. So for example, if we had one competitors in the past who failed to do the login part, then he created a link, say login here without password, and after you click that link, it bypass all the authentication and bring you into the admin area directly. By having this link, which is unusual in practical scenarios, but by using this link, we can make sure that the experts can assess your work, even if you get the authentication incorrect. So as a safelet, I would suggest, even if you have double checked your authentication work, you may also consider having such a link or button to help the assessment. So to respond with Marcelo's mark difference and connecting between these 4 tips, everything we want to make sure is to make sure your effort is being assessed, because the champions, the medals and non-medals are really 1 point or at most two or something points difference, and you will decide if you are the champion or not. And this kind of details will help even if you, for example, make a tiny mistakes. You can make sure that your tiny mistakes are not affecting a huge part of your test project. That's my tips to be careful in the test project. Thank you. And back to you, Will.
Thank you. What a wonderful tips from Mr. Thomas. He was a competitor, and he was expert and the deputy chief expert, and now he's skills competition manager. So only he can give that kind of tips. Okay, thank you. So yeah, any questions to Thomas and to Marcelo? No? Okay, we have some participants not introduced. I think we have Mr. Roy.
Yes, please.
How you doing? Hello. Nice to meet you.
He is a technical delegate from Costa Rica. Okay.
Yes. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation.
Do you want to start web technologies from now on?
I would love that. Yeah, I would love to.
Okay.
I have a great teacher. I have you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, thank you. And we have Carol Lim, maybe from Malaysia. Can you introduce yourself? No? Okay. And Mr. Julio is here. Can you say hello?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm part of the team Costa Rica Web Technologies. Nice to meet all the people here. Greetings for you and all your community.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think the web technologies team is one of the best team in WorldSkills. Agree? Yes, yes, because you have you and especially Marcelo and Thomas and Mr. Kung, Cisco. Mr. Kung, you have any additional words to add?
I have no comment, but today I learned many more. Special the data analysis. Marcelo analysis the competitors result before. Is very good. Do this analysis data can open to all competitor or cannot? Marcelo?
Okay, thank you. Mr. Abram, do you have any comments?
Sorry. Yes, I want to thank everybody for inviting us here today. This is very important and very useful. Thank you very much. And yes, web technologies is the best.
Do you have any tips to give us?
Any tips? I don't know. There is a lot, but I can think on one right now.
Okay, thank you. At first, many competitors expert thought web technologies is like a memory game, but right now it is not the memory game. You need to understand how to manage the frameworks. You need to know the deep side in PHP. So Marcelo and Thomas gave us that kind of informations, very important. Okay, to the Mr. Carroll, do you want to speak more? Okay. Yeah, today the server side, server is very important, and PHP libraries, JavaScript is very important. So Marcelo said the programming is the key of the meta. So if you want to get any good result in WorldSkills, you need to learn how to programming from scratch. But I think the framework is not only PHP. Framework is like a different language based on PHP. So you need to learn what they provide. Yeah, Thomas said a very important thing, the scaffold about the framework. Okay, today I also learned from you, and maybe next time, 2 weeks later, we can. I will introduce next part of videos, and we can talk about how to training. But I think Marcelo wants to say more.
Yeah. Let me finalize something, because Thomas said one thing that is very important, and you presented this firstly, is about the next steps for our skill, okay? And we are going very fast for the automated tests, yeah, to validate the work of the competitors. Then you need to know, this is another important thing, that you need to manage very well with tests. And again, each time more, there is no more the experts that they do the assessment. Is a machine that's trying to do everything, to test everything. And again, if you don't know how to manage very well, as Thomas said, is about the following the frameworks or the API results, and we will lose all the marks, okay? Because again, it's a programming that is validating, yes? And if you don't give the answer that the programming is waiting for, again, you lose the marks. Then again, please pay attention on the tests. Then this is one good advice, that you pay attention. And when you are developing and creating APIs, again, try to do something, try to create some tests, automated tests, to guarantee that you know how to deliver the API very well. And this can guarantee that you receive a lot of marks, not lose everything, okay? Then automated tests is a good thing to learn about. And this is the future for our skill in this kind of programming or of this topic that we are talking about tonight. Thank you, Rio.
Thank you. Thomas, I think you have more about test automation.
Yes, sure. So we are moving forward to the automated tests for at least JavaScript and PHP. In the 2019 competition, we test the API with automated test. We also tested the front end part of the PHP application with JavaScript automated test. We used the Cypress, 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 that we provide the template of the PHP HTML part with all the selector well written in the classes, the ID and the element structure well written. So the competitors only need to implement the PHP parts. And to make the automated test success, we have to make sure these selectors are not modified. So if the test project as written in the document is going to be assessed by automated test, please make sure not only check the work by manually input and manually operating with mouse, and also by running the example script that we provide. And in this kind of test project, we usually provide examples on how to run those automated tests. So to make sure the competitors can have chance to test them themselves. And for the preparation, as Marcelo suggested, please also learn the latest automated test framework for each language, for PHP and for JavaScript. So to make sure if we have this kind of project, we know the competitors know how we are going to assess. And in the future, we are looking into more automated assessment beyond PHP and JavaScript. But we'll follow the industry standard and see if we have other automated script that can help us. For example, if it is the design part, can we overlay the provider design and the competitor's design together, or can we have a color check on that, some kind of scripts for our automation?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Thomas. Yeah, even design, we can use automated test. Oh, that's surprised, but yeah, I think so. That's why you need to create your project. Not only beautiful, not only wonderful code, but you need to follow the test project, the instruction from test project. If not, yeah, Marcelo and Thomas said you don't get any points from your project. Yeah, don't waste your time. Okay, it's time to wrap up this streaming. So if you have any question, it's time you ask. No more? Okay, let me finish this. What do you think we can talk about next time? I think next time I will introduce my next part of videos, and I think we can talk about training your competitor, or if you are a competitor, training yourself. Okay. Okay. No problem. You agree if I upload this video on YouTube? Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, to visit here, and especially Marcel and Thomas. You gave us great tips and great things to prepare. Okay, I think we can do more next time. I hope you will stay healthy and see you next time. Okay. David, do you want to say more? Comment? Okay, you can say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye. Thanks for having us here.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. See you next time.
See you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Same.
Yeah.
Let's see.
감사합니다.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Pura vida.
Kevin,
Yeah,
Kevin.
pura vida. Obrigada.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
감사합니다.
Yeah.
감사합니다.
谢谢. Yeah, pura vida.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we are going to stop this video. Okay.